Then Joshua came forth from the mountain, bringing the law of the copy-written stone. And he spake thus unto them, saying, What's up, curious? Josh Roof here, and in this workshop we're going to finally learn how to do the dirty deed of writing copy. We'll start in the direct response field of sales letters, which can take the form of snail mail and a variety of other formats. The most lucrative sales letter ever written generated over $2 billion in sales. That was a long time ago, too. And here's the most exciting part. I have a copy of the original letter, and we're going to break it down piece by piece, analyzing and theorizing why this letter was so insanely effective. You may be surprised at how easy it is to duplicate our Wall Street Journal copywriters' methods. Now, before we get to that, let's go over the 10 commandments of copywriting in full detail. The 10 commandments. Commandment number 1, as we went over a little bit earlier, thou shalt write conversationally, like you're chatting with a friend. No one wants to be preached to or addressed as you guys because it's a personal thing. It's just you and that one person who's reading your email. That's it. Write like you know that person, because if you've done your due diligent homework, you do. Commandment number 2 is know thy neighbor. Know who you're writing to. Research your target audience and customer consistently. I'd say daily. Ask them questions, and most importantly, listen. Commandment number 3, thou shalt not be boring. Nobody reads boring content, at least not for long. There's virtue in being ballsy enough to write things you think are funny or interesting, even when you think nobody else will. And if you think that, the vast majority of the time, you're wrong, because there's a sweaty ocean of people out there who have the same interests and even humor as you do. If you think your personality sparks with a sense of humor and quirky brilliance unique to you and only you, it would behoove you to think again. You're not that special. Kidding, you're special, you and everyone else in the world. Commandment number 4, keep thy copy simple. Complex sentences and large words may make you sound intelligent, but it'll drive your customers away by the drove. Long words, ooh and ah, but humble simplicity makes the sale. Commandment number 5, thou shalt always trigger emotion. Stories are one of the best ways to do this. Short, to the point stories, that is. Facts tell, stories sell. People make the buying decision off of emotion, and then they justify that decision with logic. Start writing stories now, believe me. You'll find it somewhat intimidating unless you have a background in fiction or something like that, but this is really something you just don't want to put it off. Even a story that seems bland or poorly written to you will almost always be effective if it's simple, straight to the point, and based off your personal experience. Those are the best stories. Like Hemingway said, writing is easy. All you do is sit at the typewriter and bleed. Meaning, of course, to bleed the truth of your experience onto the paper. Experiences that are brimming with emotion and empathic copy. Commandment number 6 is give thy customer loads of proof. So that can include testimonials of happy customers, reviews, photos of results, case studies of previous projects, independent studies showing the results of your product, and many other things like that. Commandment number 7, show them their benefits. That's pretty self-explanatory. Just make sure you get those benefits in there. They're very important. Commandment number 8, anticipate and overcome objections. Always think of what your customer would say in response to your pitch, and then give them a rock-solid reason why the objection isn't even worthy of their time. Commandment number 9 is thou shalt always create a sense of urgency. That is, you need to buy this now, before the sale ends, before the product runs out, or something along those lines. And then the last commandment, commandment number 10, and this I cannot emphasize enough, is of utmost importance. Commandment number 10 is thou shalt not forget thy call to action. So your call to action, your CTA, it's like your significant other, that special somebody you have or someday will have. What's the point of pouring your time, effort, emotions, and hard-earned money into the black hole of a relationship without eventually popping the question? Love's greatest call to action is, will you marry me? If neither of you have the testicular fortitude to ask that question, you'll end up living a depressing, lonely life and dying a crusty old maid. Without adding a compelling CTA to your copy, you'll miss the main reason you wrote the copy to begin with, which is to make money. Okay, last but not least, I want to give you a few bonus commandments. I couldn't really fit all of them into 10. Bonus commandment number 1, avoid cliches like the bubonic black plague and untimely death that they are. Number 2, or as cliches inevitably pop into your head, give them a nice twist to surprise your reader and keep them interested. For example, YOLO, right? You only laugh once before you get punched in the mouth. That was a horrible example. Anyway, sometimes the surprise alone will put a smile on their face, and that never hurts. Bonus commandment number 3, you are should always be changed to your. Are not should be changed to aren't, etc., etc., etc. And that leads into number 4, write exactly how you talk. Write, I'm going out for some air. Not, I am in need of air, therefore I will exit the premises in order to garner the breeze of a superior and more invigorating atmosphere. That's just dumb. If you talk like that, maybe, I don't know, dumb down your copy a little bit more, but most people aren't ridiculous. So, yeah, just don't do that. Write exactly how you talk, because you probably talk like a normal person. And there you have it. Those are the 10 commandments of copywriting. Now let's go through them again really briefly. Commandment 1, write conversationally. Commandment 2, know who you're writing to. Number 3, don't be boring. Number 4, keep your copy simple. Number 5, always trigger emotion and use stories to do it. Number 6, give your customer loads of proof. Number 7, make sure you show them the benefits. Number 8, anticipate and overcome any and all objections. Number 9, always create a sense of urgency. And last but not least, in fact, this is the most important one, never, ever, ever, ever forget your call to action. And then the bonus commandments are avoid cliches or put a twist on them. Always change you are's to your and are nots to aren't. And write exactly how you talk. All right, now that we've covered the 10 commandments of copywriting, let's go ahead and get into the best sales letter ever written. So there's over 2 billion reasons to read this sales letter and analyze it. My first reason is it's the best sales letter ever written. The rest of the reasons are in the form of cash, cold, hard profit. Much like the last lesson, we're going to go over the analysis of the sales letter very briefly in the last minute or two of this video, and then in a lot more detail in the next. So this $2 billion sales letter begins like this. Dear reader, on a beautiful late spring afternoon, 25 years ago, 2 young men graduated from the same college. They were very much alike, these 2 young men. Both had been better than average students, both were personable, and both, as young college graduates are, were filled with ambitious dreams for the future. Recently, these 2 men returned to college for their 25th reunion. They were still very much alike. Both were happily married, both had 3 children, and both, it turned out, had gone to work for the same Midwestern manufacturing company after graduation, and were still there. But there was a difference. One of the men was manager of a small department of the company. The other was its president. What made the difference? So that's just the intro, but the first few sentences of a sales letter are always the most important. So what makes this simple intro so effective? Well, I've got 7 copywriting tactics I'd like to share with you. The tactics that this brilliant copywriter used to earn his client over $2 billion. Again, we'll go over them briefly and then in more depth in the next video, where we'll also cover the complete 14-point analysis of the copy. But here's the Sparks notes to get the wheels turning. The first tactic that he uses is that of personalization. He makes sure that he's very personal with the person that he's talking to, like he's talking with one other person, not a group of people. Number 2, he uses storytelling. Facts tell and stories sell. Number 3, targeting. And number 4, he uses clarity. Number 5, he uses imagery. And again, we'll go into further detail on all of these things in the next video. Number 6, he uses the strategy that I like to call the underdog. And number 7, finally, he uses his unique selling proposition, his USP. So that's all we have for today. Again, I'm Josh Roof, bringing you the copywriting class, and I'm very much looking forward to hearing more of your questions. Keep them coming, and I will see you in the next video.